Accomplishments such as inking historic Mideast deals, restoring military strength, and curbing illegal immigration. He also credited Trump for delivering a coronavirus vaccine on a schedule no one thought conceivable.
His last day will be December 23rd. EU medicine agencies saying this morning they have moved up their meeting to assess the Pfizer-BioNTech coronavirus vaccine for provisional approval in the 27-nation bloc to December 21 instead of their previously planned meeting December 29. Hope is on the way in this country, according to U.S. Health and Human Services Secretary Alex Azar.
Supplies of an FDA-authorized, safe, and effective COVID-19 vaccine are arriving at sites across America.
He noted that the rollout is happening even as the deadly virus continues to surge in some spots. The NFL and its players say they will not cut in line and try to get special treatment when it comes to getting the coronavirus vaccine. They'll continue to rely on testing and mask mandates. A Wisconsin man who was obsessively concerned about the coronavirus pandemic has been ordered to spend the rest of his life in a mental health institution for stabbing 4 of his family members, 2 of them fatally. 36-year-old Adam Roth was found not guilty by reason of mental disease in the attack. The Waukesha man told a detective the day after the March stabbings that the coronavirus was coming and I had to save my family. A manhunt is underway to find a murder suspect who escaped from a transport van while being extradited to Lake County, Indiana from Texas. Leon Taylor of Hammond is wanted on that murder charge and is considered dangerous. It's a rough start to the week for Noah Vonleh. The 6'10 Bulls forward has been cut by the team and then a few moments later tested positive for COVID-19. 13th ranked Illinois opens the Big Ten season at home tonight against undefeated Minnesota. The news service of Rocket Mortgage. Check out the Rocket Mortgage Home Buyer's Guide for articles, tips, and tools. When you need your mortgage to fit your family and budget, Rocket can. Rocket Mortgage. 8:33 and a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Mike Gallagher affirms what's on the line in Georgia.
Reminding Georgians of Raphael Warnock's intentions of packing the Supreme Court, adding Supreme Court justices to try to tip the court into a liberal majority. They'll add the statehood status to Puerto Rico and D.C. so they can pick up maybe 4 more Democrats.
The Mike Gallagher Show, weekdays at 9, right before Dennis Prager at 11 on AM 560. The Answer.
After 25 years of building websites for all kinds of companies in many different industries, AmericanEagle.com realized a well-designed website is also your best employee, bringing efficiency, revenue, production, showing up every day, giving above and beyond to increase your bottom line. That's what a website designed, developed, and hosted by AmericanEagle.com has brought to so many clients. An AmericanEagle.com website is a 24/7 branding exercise, building rapport and thus brand equity while you sleep. Companies like WeatherTech have relied on AmericanEagle.com's website design and development and hosting capabilities for years. When some of the world's top brands need a reliable company to prepare their sites for high-traffic events, who do they call? AmericanEagle.com. Their clients have come to rely on them for a full line of website services, from consulting and strategy to digital marketing, hosting, and maintenance. Give the team at AmericanEagle.com a call today. 1-877-WEB-NOW. The number 1 is the number. AmericanEagle.com is the website. 1-877-WEB-NOW-1 is the number.
Balance of Nature's fruits and vegetables in a capsule, changing the world one life at a time.
I think for older people, I think they really need to understand that this product will give you the energy that you need to sustain throughout a day. Right now, I just can't hardly make it through the day if I don't start my day out taking 3 of each every day. Yeah, I'm a flag waver for the product. I believe in it. I know it's helping me. I feel I'm more satisfied that I've got my energy level for the day. And, for the last 2 weeks, I've been working over at my mom's house to get it ready to sell. It's just unbelievable. I guarantee you, if you saw me compared to the rest of the guys that are 74, you'd think them boys is ready for the couch. And I'm going strong all day long and have been for quite some time now.
Balance of Nature is now offering 35% off on any new preferred order. Go to balanceofnature.com today and use discount code CHICAGO.
It's open enrollment season, and MediShare is a Christian healthcare sharing ministry that saves most families about $500 a month. Google MediShare and see if it is a fit for you.
8:36. Let's get a check on the roads now. Team Hochberg Traffic Center time and Paul Bodenloss.
Traffic starting to recover in the downtown area. State Street's reopened at Madison after an earlier rollover crash. Also, on the inbound Eisenhower, it's a little sluggish right now between Wolf and Des Plaines, and it slows again as you approach the Byrne interchange. The outbound lanes, a little sluggish between Central and 25th after an earlier crash. Inbound on the Stevenson, a little slow between Cicero and Kedzie. Gets a little heavy as well as you approach the Dan Ryan with construction on that ramp to the Ryan. The Dan Ryan heading inbound slows between Cermak and the Byrne interchange because of road construction that's taking out the right lane. And the Bishop Ford inbound slows between 103rd and the Dan Ryan. Finally, Lakeshore Drive northbound between Wacker and Grand continues to have road construction until 4th. That's traffic. I'm Paul Bodenloss on AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. AM 560 Weather Center forecast. Cloudy and 33 today, 20 at O'Hare, 28 along the lakefront. Your next news update is at 9, and Chicago's Morning Answer continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
From the Matrix Home Solutions studios, this is Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560, The Answer.
Listen to AM 560, The Answer, online at 560theanswer.com, on the AM 560 mobile app, on your Alexa-powered smart speaker, on TuneIn, iHeart, and radio.com. If you're looking for the latest news, insight into what it means, and the sharpest opinion, there's only one station in Chicago where you can turn, and it's this one. We're AM 560, The Answer.
In his 1841 book, Extraordinary Popular Delusions and the Madness of Crowds, which is a magnum opus and a manual for our age, frankly, Charles Mackay observed that men go mad in herds, while they only recover their senses slowly and one by one. And it seems like that's virtually axiomatic as per the conduct of the American public during this COVID-19 pandemic. Oh, by the way, a Gallup poll out. Americans' latest assessment of their mental health is worse than it has been at any point in the last 2 decades. There is a 9-point decline in the percentage of Americans who consider their mental health excellent or good. Mental health as excellent or good. Far fewer say it is, and far fewer say it's only fair or poor. It's still a statistically significant decline, and this is all adults. This isn't what's happening with kids, which is sort of a separate and discrete matter. For more on this and all things vaccine-related, as Moderna is on the cusp of emergency use authorization from the FDA, and so more dosages from the combination of Pfizer and Moderna will be distributed to the 50 states in short order. We're pleased to be joined again by Dr. Kevin Pham, who is a medical doctor, unlike Jill Biden, and a contributor to the Daily Signal, former graduate fellow in health policy at the Heritage Foundation. Dr. Kevin, thanks for joining us. Appreciate it.
Thanks for having me back.
Doctor.
No,
yeah.
Oh, and
Dr. Kevin, with respect to what's that? I'm sorry,
doctor.
what did you say?
And
hello?
Doctor.
I still couldn't hear
me.
Okay, so I don't know, we're having a connection issue or something. So with respect to the mental health decline, I mean, the statistical evidence in addition to the anecdotal tragedies, continues to roll in. And I guess, part of this is saying, well, if vaccines are supposed to be this wonderful moment, and it is a wonderful moment, if the lockdown policies are still attendant to vaccine distribution and inoculation of millions of Americans over the last 6 months, I wonder if you're concerned that actually mental health will continue to decline as we're still under COVID restrictions, at least in some states, despite the fact that millions of Americans are going to be vaccinated, again, according to the Trump administration schedule, maybe 100 million by the end of February.
Right. As going to the mental health decline is associated. So the mental health decline is associated with the lockdowns, just being shut indoors. And if we're not going to get those vaccines to let us come out of the door until spring, then we're going to have a continued mental health decline. And so it's really incumbent on governors and mayors. It'd be nice if we can take the power back, but they're the ones who have to, allow us to go back out into the world. Especially with, in New York, they have shown some of the contact tracing data, and it shows that 75% of the spread of this virus is occurring in the households, having the effect that they're supposed to be having. And we have a vaccine.
Right.
Really
so when they shut down.
Go ahead.
Okay, we're having a connection problem. Let's endeavor to get Dr. Kevin Pham back on, and we'll be right back.
You've made the switch, and it feels so good. You've switched to Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
Famous conservative quotes presented by Automated Systems.
Here's a favorite Churchill quote. If you're not a liberal at 20, you have no heart. If you're not a conservative at 40, you have no brain. Are you listening, millennials?
Manufacturing companies, I encourage you to call my friend Laz Kulchar from Automated Systems. Automated Systems is a software and systems integration company that specializes in companies that are required to meet FDA compliance requirements. Automated Systems will create a custom solution for your business that will make your production lines, facilities, and plants run more efficiently. Imagine less downtime, more speed, and fewer rejects. From Fortune 500 to startup, ASI delivers solutions for your toughest automation challenges. For information, I encourage you to talk to Laz at Automated Systems. Call 844-HIRE-ASI or visit hireasi.com. That's 844 HIREASI, 844-HIRE-ASI, or online at hireasi.com.
Mike Gallagher here. You've heard me talk about my friends at Roland's Jewelers, located in downtown Libertyville. Roland's is a family-owned jeweler, and I believe in supporting small businesses this year more than ever. I love working with folks like Marley, a second-generation owner, or the manager, Anne Marie, who's been there 20 years. These are people you can trust. They have the knowledge, they have the commitment to help you create that magical moment. This holiday season, Roland's has beautiful jewelry collections from Roberto Coin, Mikimoto, Simon G, Hearts on Fire, John Hardy, and Swiss timepieces from Tag Heuer, pre-owned Rolexes. You can visit their beautiful showroom or shop online at rolandsjewelers.com like I did. I wear watches from there, and I'm a customer. What sets them apart, and this is important, is that you still get excellent personal service when shopping on their website. Again, I shop there myself. Roland's Jewelers in downtown Libertyville. Roland's, Rollands, rolandsjewelers.com, a family-owned jeweler you can trust.
Signature Bank is Chicago's fastest growing independently owned business bank. It's a bank where relationships still matter. Signature Bank knows your name and your story. I'm Dan Proft, and I know this because Signature Bank is my business bank.
Hey all, this is Jim Carr, co-host of the #1 rated manufacturing podcast, Making Chips, and a customer of Signature Bank. If you're a crazy busy company owner like me, you know that success in business is all about relationships. While many banks call themselves a relationship bank, Signature knows how to do it right. They made the banking relationship easy and on my timeline. Their technology, coupled with the attention from my personal banker, made the transaction as effortless and seamless as possible. Much thanks to Signature Bank for supporting Car Machine and Tool when we needed it most. Bam.
Signature Bank is looking for their next success story. To learn more about turning your business vision into reality, visit signaturebank.bank. Signature Bank, helping local businesses succeed. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
AM 560, The Answer.
Dan and Amy, all right, we're back with Dr. Kevin Pham. Let's try this again. Dr. Pham, are you with us?
I am.
All right, that's better. Let's just pick up where we left off. You were addressing the issue of the decline in mental health, according to a recent Gallup survey of American adults generally, and the question as to whether or not that decline will continue when the optimism attendant to the vaccine and millions of Americans getting vaccinated doesn't obviate the restrictions that are still in place for everyday life, at least in some states.
Right, that's exactly right, because the declining mental health is as a result of these lockdown measures of people being shut up in their homes. The vaccine is certainly welcome news, but if governors aren't going to let us out of our houses until after we've all gotten the vaccine in late in 2021, then there's not going to be much. It's not going to have much of a material effect on most of our lives until those numbers start coming down. And we really shouldn't have to wait for the governors and the mayors to let us out of our house. We are not a gigantic prison country, for instance.
Yeah, and once we get the vaccine, though, I don't know if you can answer this question because people are having a hard time answering it. And if you don't know the answer, that's fine. But once you get the vaccine, can you still spread it to others?
Okay, well, we don't really know for sure because they haven't tracked that data down in the studies. But it would be quite a remarkable thing for this virus to be able to spread while still protecting all 95% of people from symptomatic disease. That much we can say that it's probably unlikely. But we have also seen there's a study read recently that asymptomatic spread occurred in less than 1% of households. Which means, in households are the most likely place to transmit the virus. So if people who are asymptomatic are transmitting at such a low rate, then we can assume that given that the vaccine will give symptomatic protection, then it will also have a dramatic effect on the ability to transmit if asymptomatic or pre-symptomatic. So I think that it will probably prevent, if not all, then at least a majority of potential infections from people who were asymptomatic.
One of the things that perhaps we also don't know, despite the projections of the summer before we get to potentially 70% of Americans vaccinated, what the experts say we need for herd immunity based on what the experts think we're at right now in terms of actual number of cases versus confirmed number of cases. We don't know that any of those projections are actually right. We don't know that it's not 20% of Americans have been infected, but we're asymptomatic. It could be 30 or 40. We don't know, and thus we don't know, number one, obviously if the vaccine will be distributed and utilized with maximum efficiency. I mean, there could be hiccups there. It's one of the things we don't know. But we also don't know what sort of universe we're dealing with and when we might achieve the so-called herd immunity, do we?
We really don't, and there was some postulation that we may have been coming close, we may have been approaching herd immunity, especially in some communities where there has been widespread disease. But it's pretty clear, if you look at the numbers now, it's pretty clear that we have not approached herd immunity just yet. We're in the middle of skyrocketing new cases and hospitalizations and deaths. So we're not there yet, and it doesn't seem like we're very close. But with the administration of the vaccine, we'll get there much faster.
With respect to the sort of the general hysteria surrounding it, which I sort of led with, do you think that your colleagues in the medical community, including the public health community, are doing a better job of being reasonable with people rather than engaging in cheap fear-mongering, or is it still a bit of a mixed universe out there?
They're absolutely not doing a very good job at this time. One thing that people in public health seem to frequently forget is that the first part of public health is the public, and you need the cooperation of the public. We in public health are a part of your system. It's not our system, and then you just interact with a small part of it. And so people in public health, or people who are making public health really diktats, they are they need to work with the community to enact these measures. Otherwise, if you say everyone needs to stay indoors for at least 8 weeks to crush this virus, no one's going to comply with that, and it's not going to have any effect. So realistically, your best intentions public health measures, they will have zero effect if they don't actually take into account what the public actually is willing to do at this time. We're all willing to get on board with the original 15 days, the second 30 days, but we are now in December, and there's been no change in footing or stance or really any evidence that we have any new understanding of the virus.
I know. And then while hospitalizations are up, there's more remedies. therapeutics to help people get out of the hospital faster than back in March. So those are good things. And in Illinois, they kept saying, Thanksgiving, it's gonna come for your actions in Thanksgiving, and it has not increased. In fact, cases have decreased every day by 3,000.
And that would be good news. Like I said, there's some communities that seems like there have been decreasing cases, and those are generally the communities that have been hit hardest already. And so it seems like very little that we're trying to do, very little of the precautions that we're enacting, especially the harshest precautions that we're trying to enact. They don't seem to have much of an effect on this virus. It will spread into a community, and it'll do what it will. And so we shouldn't be making things worse by shutting people indoors. We should just be asking people to take personal responsibility. I've never advocated just a full open, free range, run around and kiss random strangers approach. But personal responsibility will do a lot more for this than government diktat.
He is Dr. Kevin Pham, medical doctor, contributor to the Daily Signal and former graduate fellow in health policy at the Heritage Foundation. Dr. Pham, thanks for joining us again. Appreciate it.
Thanks so much for having me. Sorry.
Thanks. And he joined us on our turnkey.pro answer line.